About 100 years ago, the purpose of pocket watches and wristwatches was simple: time telling. Now it's become much more than that. Collecting watches has become a hobby, a passion. And this gives watch brands some space to be a bit more creative, a bit more artistic in the way that they express the passing of time. I mean, it's kind of always has been a bit artistic, but in the recent years, watches have become a lot more serious. I've got two watches on the table today from Bell& and Ross, and this isn't a comparison of the two because these are similar in styling, but very different in their design concept. One of these I kind of expected, but the other one, I didn't expect this at all. Let's do a quick recap. Anybody that knows anything about Bell& and Ross knows that they're subtle but wild at the same time. In 2017, they created an ultra-thin tourbillon with a microrotor caliber where the movement was basically incorporated into the case and then sandwiched between two pieces of sapphire, way ahead of its time. Less than 2 years ago, they released a sports watch with a fully loomed quartz composite outer case and a titanium inner container. Again, ahead of its time. And then there's the annual release of the Flight Instrument Collection, which is my absolute favorite series from the brand. These are such cool talking pieces. They're fun, they're quirky, just overall different from anything else we've seen, especially in that aviation themed watches. Conceptual and experimental watchmaking is nothing new for the brand. They've been doing this from the very beginning, and in fact, have been at the forefront of some of those concepts. These two watches embody that conceptual, experimental watch design approach. We have the BR-03 Horizon that came out at the end of last year, and as an expansion of the flight instrument line, it expands on that by now taking inspiration from a gyroscopic flight instrument known as the Artificial Horizon. The purpose of this crucial instrument is to inform pilots of the plane's orientation relative to Earth's horizon. But what most people in the watch industry got surprised by was this new release that just came out, the BR-03 Astro. And this time, we are going beyond the atmosphere. Both watches come in a 41mm microblasted ceramic case with a lug-to-lug measurement of 50mm and a lug width of 24mm. But the thickness between these two watches is slightly different, and that has to do with the crystal that has been created for the Astro to give it that 3D effect. The Horizon has a slim height of just 10.6mm, whereas the Astro is a tad thicker at 11.5mm. Both watches are still relatively slim, and that's mainly thanks to the automatic movement inside, the caliber BR-327. Essentially the Sellita SW301, but they have been modified to have an extended power reserve of 54 hours while still beating at a high frequency of 4 Hz. You get 100 meters of water resistance with a push-pull crown that feels incredibly solid and easy to grip, and a rubber strap that starts at 24mm at the lugs and then tapers down to 22mm at the buckle. This ultra-wide strap gives the BR-03 its design recognition because of the way it seamlessly integrates with the case. These watches do look big on the wrist. They do have a strong wrist presence, but my wrists are slimmer than average wrists, measuring just 6.2 inches or 15.8 centimeters. And it still doesn't look too bad. It will wear bigger than a 41mm because of that square case. The Horizon retails at 4,900 euros and the Astro costs just around 90 euros more. And both watches are limited to just 999 pieces. Now, the main thing that separates both of these watches is how the time is displayed. On the Horizon, the fixed inner bezel displays the hour and minute tracks, while the dial rotates throughout the day. The black triangle denotes the hour, the white hand indicates the minutes, and the extended striped hand tracks the seconds. It's not your conventional way of time telling and may take a bit of time getting used to, but they've actually done a really good job at making everything legible and easy to read, even though it might seem overwhelming at first. The Astro, on the other hand, is quite different from anything else we've seen from the brand. This is the first time we've seen a cosmic-inspired watch, and also the first time we've seen an aventurine stone being used on the dial. The dial mimics how our blue planet would look when viewed from a space station. So the watch is like a window, and the satellite and moon orbiting the Earth, along with Mars at a distance, represent the passing of time. Now, what's really interesting here is that nothing feels flat. There is a lot of depth when it comes to the dial. The hands, the Earth, the satellite all feel like they're suspended and floating in space. The satellite represents the seconds hand, the moon tracks the minutes, and the tiny Mars keeps track of the hours, with the aventurine dial at the back mimicking the dark, starry space. What's also special here is that the crystal is hollowed on the inside right above the Earth. So that makes the Earth look a bit spherical and gives it that optical illusion as if it's popping out of the crystal. It's a simple thing that we might take for granted, but it shows the passion from the design team, from Bruno Bellamick, who went as far as creating a new case just to accommodate this design. The brand seems to be experimenting with a lot of new ideas, especially in the last couple of years, be it new conceptual designs, be it proprietary calibers, proprietary materials like LM3D, and the Astro sits in that camp. 90% of the catalog, I would say, is very function oriented, but we still have that creative artistic expression of watchmaking every now and then. And I would say that's the right way to look at both of these watches. Personally, I love the Horizon. I love the instrument collection because it is a reflection of actual dashboard instruments. The Astro, on the other hand, is something totally unexpected. And I think it will take some time for people that are familiar with the brand's aviation theme to understand and appreciate this, because it just feels a little off field. But maybe that's exactly what is needed to inject a little bit of fun, a little bit of unpredictability into the brand. These kinds of designs do get people talking about the brand, and not only that, it welcomes in a new audience that maybe isn't into the whole aviation design language. It also allows the designers some leeway to experiment and to try something different. And I wish that more brands did that. What do you guys think of these two watches? Which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want to see more. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.